ladies, it's Pink Vintage. Really quickly, I wanted to do a comparison video for anyone that was considering purchasing the Hamilton Tote by Michael Kors in either the East-West style or the North-South style. And I do want to focus on my fave, which is the North-South Saffiano leather one, but I'll compare it to this one and let you know why I'm not in love with this one as much as I am with the Saffiano leather one. Already, I've noticed that this one is kind of getting that sag like right up in here, as you can see when that particular handle falls, and that's because these bags are really top heavy. They're not even as far as the weight and the construction. Like all the stitching and pleating is up here at the top versus it being evenly, like down the side. It's drawn together totally different than right up here at the top. Um, and so because of that, it is like I said, top heavy, so it's gonna start sagging. As you can see, the handle is not even standing up. And this is only day two of owning the bag. So where it's buckling right here is gonna get softer, and then eventually it's gonna get softer further down in the bag. But I love the accents. I love the buckle. I love the logo, the emblem here, how it's the hardware is screwed on. I do like the separate compartments, even though with this being a shorter bag, it's not as tall as the sister. This one you can't really pack as well as you could with this. And with the Saffiano leather one, again, that's my fave. So I can rant and rave about it. And I did use this when I went to the gym. I used this when I spent the night over someone's house. I mean, the possibilities are endless as far as what you can put inside of that one. Because you have so much height that once you pack it just the way you want it, you can always throw something on top of it. And you can fit your laptop in there. I mean, it's just an all around bag for work, gym, or everyday use. And what I did when I used it as a work tote is I just tossed my wallet and my cosmetic bag inside of it, and that made it more so of a um, work tote slash handbag. So back to this one, since it's the newer one, I'll be honest, I feel like I can't fit as much in here as I would like to, and I don't have anything in the back pockets um, because I'm using my phone here. But honestly, I have my pochette, which isn't even full. I just have some miscellaneous items in there. This is the biggest thing back there, and it's a smaller cosmetic bag, so it's not even heavy. I do have my brushes sticking out of it because, again, I was using this one up until I purchased this one, and I've used this as a work tote, gym tote, school bag, whatever you can think of. So, and then I just have my little pill case. Those three things, and this back is full and it's puckering out. So honestly, I don't, I feel like it's not too practical when they split the compartments up in this bag because it kind of restricts the way that you can pack it. And then in this middle pocket, the only thing I put in there was my scarf, simply because it's so tight that nothing else would fit in here. I wanted to put my iPad in there to keep it, protected, but it's so tight that I'll be honest with you, I really, didn't even want to keep it in there because I was like, it seemed like it was kind of squishing it a little bit, if that makes any sense. So anywho, so I just keep my iPad right up front with my wallet and my agenda. And again, I'm so used to this bag now that I was like, okay, I'm glad to have a bag where I can actually, bring my agenda with me wherever I go. But with this one, the little sister, it's just not the same because it's so, I feel so restricted now that I have this one on. Maybe if I would have just purchased this one outright and never had this one to compare it to, then I would have never known that I like the height better. But don't get me wrong, gorgeous bag, gorgeous leather, quality, outstanding. If you're looking for a bag that's not as tall, because the Hamilton is kind of a tall bag, and when I first got it, I was overwhelmed because I was like, this is tall, even taller than my Dome Dooney satchel, and it took some getting used to. But once you get used to it, and if you're like me, and you get used to it, and you start overpacking it, then not to make it too heavy, but you're just like, oh, okay, well, let me put my iPad charger in there. Let me put my phone charger in there. Let me put my pencil case and stuff that I don't normally carry every single day in my bag. Then you're like, okay, let me put a book in there. Let me put a magazine. So, but you have the option to do that because of the height. But again, for someone, especially a more petite lady that's looking for a smaller bag, it's not too much shorter. If you look at it side by side, it's not too much shorter. But it's just the fact that you have this extra height and you have one big open compartment. So stuff like your laptop would fit in. And I did try to squeeze my laptop in here and it came like all the way up and it was kind of peeking out. And I have the smaller MacBook Air, so I was just like, that's not gonna work for me. But of course, I did purchase it, so it's my bag unless I decide to rehome it. But I honestly, this one is my favorite as far as the two go. But they're two different styles, and now that they're the same style, obviously, but they're two different bags, and they're useful for two different purposes. Um, for me, I prefer again the north south one, but honestly, it just depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it for everyday bag to take to church, take to work, you don't want anything that's Of course, there are other colors in this one. Um, I think that this leather is more reliable, like for weather and just kind of if your bag is the type of bag that's tossed around a lot, you don't have to be too. You still want to be careful. You don't want to get ink or stains on it, but you don't have to baby this particular leather as much as you have to baby this leather. And again, if I'm just comparing the bags, if this one were Saffiano leather, I would probably have a whole nother point of view for it. So I do love Saffiano leather, and I do love the Hamilton style with the lock and key. So and it's funny because I've loved this style for years, and it wasn't until I really got this one and owned it, and I was like, Now that I'm looking at them side by side, I'm like, I like my north south tote, but picked this one up from TJ Maxx, $199 before taxes, so it was 200 ish, but the tag was $358. So even if you go in my core store or any other department store, the 358 price is the typical price for the bag. And it is considered the size large in the East West tote, and it's in the color luggage. And again, this one is the North South in the color fuchsia in the Saffiano leather. Um, so yeah, if you ladies have any questions about either of these bags, please feel free to hit me up. My MacBook is about to power off, so let me go ahead and wrap this up. Peace and namaste.